Welcome to this LET review on gamified learning. Gamified learning is not about replacing lessons with video games. It is about taking the mechanics that make games engaging, points, badges, levels, challenges, leaderboards, and applying them intentionally to support learning. For each of the 8 questions in this presentation, we will walk through the question type, the strategy for approaching it, and a clear explanation of why the correct answer is right and the others are not. Let's get into it. Type 1. Best answer. When you see the word best, that is your signal to slow down and read every option carefully. More than one might seem reasonable at first glance. Your job is to find the most complete and most accurate one. For this question, ask yourself, which option actually captures what gamified learning is? AI says game, elements to increase engagement and motivation in learning. And that is exactly it. It covers both what is used, game elements, and why, engagement and motivation. It is the most complete description. B says lessons are replaced with video games. That is a common misconception, not a definition. The lesson and the learning goal stay. The game elements support them. C says teaching without objectives. That directly contradicts gamified learning, where objectives are essential to designing meaningful game mechanics. D says games are used only for entertainment. Entertainment might be a byproduct, but learning is always the primary purpose. The answer is A. When you see best, always read everything before you decide. Type 2. Combination. In combination questions, your first job is to go through each numbered statement on its own, before you even look at the answer choices. Let's work through them. Statement 1. Points and badges may be used. Absolutely true. These are the most recognizable tools of gamified learning. Statement 2. Learning objectives remain important. True, this is a key principle. Game elements must always serve learning goals. Statement 3. Games are used only for entertainment. This one is false. Gamified learning uses game mechanics for educational purposes, not just for fun. The moment you identify this as false, you can eliminate any option that includes it. Statement 4. Motivation can increase through challenges. True, challenges create a sense of purpose and accomplishment, both of which drive motivation. With 3 eliminated, B, C, and D are all gone. Only A remains, and it contains only true statements. The answer is A. Finding the false statement first is your fastest path through combination questions. Type 3. Negative format. Before you read a single option, go back and circle the word except in the question. It sounds simple, but this habit prevents a lot of mistakes, especially under exam pressure when your brain defaults to looking for what is correct. Now check each option. A. Points and badges. Yes, these are classic features of gamified learning. This one belongs. B. Challenges and quests. Yes, definitely. These are what give gamified activities their structure and purpose. C. Progress tracking. Yes. Knowing how far you have come and how far you have to go is a fundamental part of the gamified experience. D. Ignoring learning objectives. No, this is the opposite of what gamified learning stands for. Every game element, and every point, badge, and challenge should be connected to a learning goal. Ignoring objectives turns education into entertainment without purpose. The answer is D. 3 belong, 1 does not. D is the accept. Type 4. Priority. In priority questions, the challenge is not that the options are wrong. It is that several of them could be reasonable steps. You need to find which one must happen before all the others. For gamified learning, think about what cannot happen until something else is done first. You cannot design meaningful game elements if you do not know what students are supposed to learn. That is the logic behind A. Defining learning objectives must come first because they are the foundation for every design decision that follows. B. Giving rewards without learning goals. Skips the most important step and produces engagement without learning. C. Focusing only on competition misses the educational purpose. Not all students are motivated by competition, and even those who need a learning goal behind it. D. Removing all assessments undermines the ability to measure whether learning is happening. The sequence is define objectives, arrow design game elements, arrow implement, arrow reflect, and adjust. The answer is A. Type 5. Situational. Situational questions ask you to apply what you know about a teaching strategy to a real classroom scenario. Do not just pick what sounds nice. Think about what the strategy actually requires. In this case, students are earning badges for completing science challenges. The question is, what should the teacher do? Start by thinking about the purpose of badges in gamified learning. Badges are meant to recognize real achievement and keep learners moving forward. They only work if they mean something. A. Use badges to recognize achievement and encourage continued learning. This is exactly right. The badge marks what the student actually accomplished, and the recognition motivates them to keep engaging with the challenges. B and D both break the connection between badge and achievement. A random badge, or one with no criteria, tells students nothing. They quickly stop caring. C. Ignoring learning progress defeats the purpose of the whole approach. The answer is A. Game elements only have power when they are meaningful. Type 6. Analogy. Analogy questions follow the pattern. A is to B as C is to blank. Your job is to identify the exact relationship in the first pair, then use that same type of relationship to complete the second pair. First pair, gamified learning is to motivation. What is the relationship? Motivation is the primary outcome or driving purpose of gamified learning. It is what the approach is most strongly associated with. So the question becomes, what is cooperative learning most strongly associated with as an outcome or defining feature? A. Collaboration. Yes. Cooperative learning is built on the idea that students learn better by working together. Collaboration is its defining characteristic. B. Isolation. That is the opposite of cooperative learning. C. Memorization. Not associated with CL as a core feature. D. Punishment. Not a teaching approach at all. The answer is A. Teaching approach arrow its most defining feature. Apply the same logic both ways. Type 7. Cause and effect. Cause and effect questions ask you to project forward logically. You are given a cause. In this case, rewards that are disconnected from learning objectives. And you need to work out what will most likely happen as a result. Think about it this way. If students receive points or badges for things that are not connected to learning, what are they really being rewarded for? Just showing up. Just clicking through. Over time, they realize the rewards do not reflect real achievement, and the motivational power of the game elements starts to fade. A. Gamification becomes less effective. This is the direct and logical consequence. Without alignment to learning goals, the strategy loses its purpose and its impact. B. Learning goals become clearer. This is backwards. Disconnecting rewards from goals makes the purpose of the activity murkier, not clearer. C. Motivation automatically increases forever. Research does not support this. Extrinsic motivation built on empty rewards is fragile and short-lived. D. Assessment becomes unnecessary. This does not follow from the cause at all. The answer is A. For cause and effect questions, always trace the logical consequences of the cause before choosing. Type 8. All of the above. When you see all of the above as an option, resist the temptation to assume it is always the answer, or that it never is. Your job is to verify each specific option independently. A. Points. Are points part of gamified learning? Yes. Points give learners immediate feedback, track progress, and motivate continued engagement. B. Badges. Are badges part of gamified learning? Yes. Badges recognize specific achievements and give learners visible markers of their progress. C. Leaderboards. Are leaderboards part of gamified learning? Yes. They add a social and competitive dimension that can motivate learners who respond to visible rankings. Since A, B, and C are all correct, the answer is D, all of the above. The rule is simple. Check each option individually, confirm all three are true, then choose all of the above with confidence. Quick strategy summary. This is your one-page reference for all 8 MCQ strategies. Perfect for a last-minute review before the exam. Best answer. Slow down when you see the word best. Read all options. The right answer is the most complete and most relevant one. Combination. Check each numbered statement on its own. One false statement eliminates multiple options at once. Except/not. Circle the negative word first. You are looking for the one that does not belong. Priority. Ask what must happen before everything else. For gamified learning, define objectives before you design game elements. Situational. Think about what the strategy requires. Choose the action that serves the learning purpose, not just any reasonable sounding response. Analogy. Identify the exact relationship in the first pair. Apply the same type of relationship to find the answer. Cause and effect. Trace the logical consequences of the cause. Project forward based on what research and theory tell us. All of the above. Verify every specific option. If all are true, choose all of the above without hesitation. Padayon, you've got this.